over here because it might be easier to stand and use this. A couple things. First of all, I stand here in total awe and gratitude. And I am humbled to be standing here in the presence of Arnold Kaufman.
Oh, okay.
Because he is just amazing, and we have to give him a hand.
All right.
The work that he does day in and day out to create the center for us to have as a resource is just amazing. And my life has been totally blessed by his presence. 2.5 years ago, I was a different person. And I did come to him very matronly. And in the course of about 6 to 9 months, I lost about 45, 50 pounds and a tumor in my back. And but my story goes back much, much further. It starts when I was about 7 years old. And when I was 7 years old, I grew up in a home where there was a family room next to the kitchen, much like a lot of the way homes are built today. And I would sit on the floor in the family room, and I would see my grandparents at the kitchen table sorting their pills. You know, in those little plastic boxes that you'd have to break your finger to open, the daily boxes for the pills. And they'd be sorting and sorting and sorting, and I'd be sitting there just wishing that they had time to play with me, because they seemed to be like really fun to play with. But they didn't have time because they were always sorting pills. And at least that was my impression as a child, you know? And so I determined at the age of 7 that I would do whatever it took to live a life of not taking pills, and that I was going to have time to play with my grandchildren. So that began my quest and my journey. And as it turned out, unbeknownst to me at the age of 7, I would have quite a few health challenges. And just to name a few, my brothers used to call me pizza face because my acne was so severe. And I had very bad allergies, arthritis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, quite overweight. I've been on crutches over 50 times in my life. And irritable bowel. I couldn't even drink water without running to the bathroom. Migraines, panic attacks, claustrophobia, chronic sinusitis, and hypoglycemia.
That's the good side.
So that was the good stuff. All right. So, you know, I had a few challenges that when you go to the doctor with these kind of challenges, they say, oh, you're fine. You know, it's no big deal. You know, there's not really much we can do, at least back in those days especially. So these are things that you, quote unquote, learn to live with. And so, but I knew somewhere deep inside that things could be better. I didn't believe that this was the way God meant for us to live. And so I continued on my quest for better health and finding ways to create better health. And something inside of me always believed in the more natural route. Even though I'm a registered nurse and I have my bachelor's degree in nursing and been trained traditionally, my goal as a registered nurse when I graduated was to become an independent family practitioner and teach people how to live so that they would never need to see a doctor or minimize their need to see a doctor unless they were, you know, in an accident or something. And, you know, certainly the American emergency rooms, even though they have their challenges, are the best emergency rooms in the world. You know, if you're going to have an accident, this is the country to do it in. So, but in terms of our daily lives, I really believe when we look at the animals, when we look at a deer, or, hi, thank you very much. Thank you, Marcus. When we look at a deer, you never see a deer in the woods like this, do you? You never see a squirrel like this. Animals live to their maximum health right up until a couple days before within a week before they pass. And then they just quietly go off and they pass, right? So if animals were meant to be lived like that and have that health and vitality, why shouldn't we, right? So I continued and I became macrobiotic in my 20s, and that really helped considerably. And if someone is just beginning to transition and beginning and looking for a new lifestyle, I would encourage you in that line toward macrobiotics, because it's at least going from the American processed foods lifestyle, packaged food lifestyle, fast food lifestyle, toward whole food. Okay? So then your body gets more used to whole foods again, and then start incorporating more and more living foods in as well. So everything, I have an expression, inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard can be too hard. And if you feel called to go cold turkey, 100% raw, bless your heart, go ahead. Follow your own instincts and your own intuitions. But for most people, inch by inch is better, and it's actually healthier, in my opinion, for you, because your body can detox gradually. And I have known people who have gone 100% raw within one day of being on the standard American diet, and gotten, without any supervision and without any education, and gotten very sick and said, oh, this isn't for me, it's not good for me, it's not good for my body. And that's a real shame, because they had all these detoxification experiences, not knowing that what to do with that and how to handle that. So if they had had a little education, a little coaching, then they might have understood. Like when I actually went raw 2.5 years ago, about a month after going raw, I hurt from head to toe. Every joint was in pain. And I was like, yes, this is so exciting.
Right. Right.
But, without the knowledge and understanding of what was going on, you might say, oh, this can't be right, this is wrong.
Right.
But I knew that all the arthritis that I had throughout my body from so many injuries over my life were yielding. And that the fascinating thing is, every cell in our body only knows two things. Two things. Anybody want to take a gander at what those two things are?
Degenerate or regenerate?
Oh, that's good. That's good. We could say 3 now. Our cells know love, and they know how to be their best. Okay? Every cell in your body only knows love and how to be its best. And so every cell is always trying to be its best. Just think about that, how powerful that is for a minute. That every cell in your body, every moment of every day, every year, every week, every month of your life, every minute, every cell in your body is trying to be its best.